Hi everyone, welcome to our third installment of our Pivot Artist interviews. This week, Gretchen and I, the center staff, are joined by Michelle Lowden. She is an Acoma artist and the founder of Milo Creations. And you may recognize some of her work because she's collaborated with the native-owned company 8th Generation. Michelle, we're really excited you're here with us. And we're going to just jump right into some questions.
Okay.
All right. Well, welcome, Michelle. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. I'm going to start off. How did you become a part of this project, the Pivot Skateboard Deck Art exhibit?
So I was part of the first Pivot exhibit that they had in Orlandis and Dwayne had in Flagstaff. So I was just contacted by Dwayne. Him and I had been friends for a couple years, so we're familiar with each other's work. And yeah, he just reached out, asked about if this was something I'd be interested in, and yeah, I just thought it was an awesome idea and great to just see us represent our native artists represented in like the skateboard deck art scene.
And
awesome.
So as a little follow-up, we've asked Landis and Dwayne what Pivot means to them, and they created the show, but we're curious what Pivot means to you, other artists.
I think it has, for me, like has to do with, you know, that motion of a skateboarder, you know, like pivoting back and forth, but also like how that connects to us as Indigenous artists and how we have to kind of pivot between Western society and like our culture and how we've blended those two with like the skateboard deck art that we have. Yeah, and just I don't know. Yeah, just I think it also brings a lot of representation, and I think representation for us, you know, just that representation, you know, matters. So yeah, in any platform. Yeah,
it's a really eye-catching exhibit, and I think yeah, having that skateboard deck art with all the different native art represented is really captivating for people.
Definitely.
Cool. Thank you. So how then turning to a little more personal, how did you first get into art?
Well, I've been surrounded by art my whole life. My dad's an artist, my grandmothers were potters, so going to the Santa Fe Indian Market every year with them as a little kid. And so I've just been surrounded by it. But it wasn't until like later in my teenage years where I was sketching and then started painting and using different types of mediums. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of honor my grandmothers in that way, because I've seen what intricate work they've done and really worked hard to like create that perfect line work and just how everything just flows nicely. So yeah, I've just pretty much been surrounded by it my whole life.
Oh, you're lucky.
So why do you think art is important in particular right now?
I think that we also can be like storytellers in that sense, like reflecting what's going around us, reflecting what emotions we might be experiencing at that time, and just how that can be healthy instead of, you know, using all these different coping mechanisms, how we can rely on art to be that source to vent through, and how we're able to yeah, just use it for healing too.
Yeah.
I know we've really enjoyed following the work that all of you pivot artists are doing, and I think it's meant even more to us right now, like being at home and like, okay, I need that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Well, awesome. And I think, you know, this next question kind of follows with the previous one that I asked you. But what does being a native artist mean to you?
For me, it means a lot. Like it holds a lot of importance because how much thought and how much work, how much, yeah, just healing goes into our work. For me, like I'm carrying on 100 years old pottery designs, and I want, you know, our future generations to see that we can still carry on these designs no matter what the medium, yeah, whether it be pottery, whether it be jewelry, we can still carry on these designs.
I think I need some of your earrings. They are awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's fun. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
So anyway, I just like have been reflecting back on like how far I've come, like starting out with jewelry and just seeing how those words like traditional and contemporary play out, and then like maybe 30, 40, 50 years of now, like the hand painted jewelry, because it's coming so common around like our neighboring pueblos and tribes and stuff. So how maybe years from now that'll be considered, like the hand painted ones will be considered traditional, and like the printed ones or the laser printed ones will be considered like contemporary. So, or like, yeah, between that traditional pottery, clay, or like ceramics. So it's funny just to like, yeah, see those similarities.
And one more question, I guess it's sort of in the vein, but we've just had Mother's Day. And I know when we were talking to Dwayne and Landis, they're like, oh, well, you know, Michelle's a mom, so that can maybe like completely influence her as an artist. So really, how has your mom influenced you? And then how do you feel like you're influenced by being a mother as far as your art?
I mean, definitely like I said, like the matriarchs in my family all were potters. My mom still paints, and so, but it's, you know, mostly for like cultural things. But yeah, like I just feel that importance to carry that on, that responsibility to carry it on any way I can, and now being a mother, like I feel a little bit more intentional about what I create, and just making sure that I'm representing myself in a healthy way. Like for one example, like getting approached by like a local brewery to create like a label for one of their new beers coming out or something, and I don't know, that like just didn't sit well with me, just because how alcohol is like has affected like our indigenous communities pretty heavily, and just given that second thought of like, do I want, you know, us as in a people and as like an artist to say that I'm condoning this type of thing. But yeah, so just like giving a second thought on like projects that I take. And now so the past couple of years we've been farming, and so a lot of my art lately has been reflecting the creatures that help produce this harvest, help how we have to ask permission from the land to even like plant food. And so I've done paintings with like corn, I've done like the bee design, and yeah, I think just realizing the hard work and hard labor it takes to grow your own food, and just how much respect I have for that, and how much I want for my son to carry that on. Like, yeah, so that, I think that's what's been reflecting a lot in my work lately.
Fantastic. Thank you. Do you have anything else I add, that just anything important to you, or? No pressure, you don't have to.
No, just kind of expressing to our Indigenous communities, if there are just people, you know, if you're able to plant those seeds and grow your own food, like this is like the most important time ever to continue that practice. And I hope, you know, everybody is taking care of themselves, checking on their elders, and yeah, and just taking care of themselves too.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate, all of us at the center really appreciate you joining us today. I am going to part with, of course, promoting our social media pages. You can find Michelle's work at Milo Creations. I'm going to keep going. Milo Creations, so MILO_creations, CREATIONS on Instagram. She's also got a website, www.milocreations.net, and she's also on Facebook. So please, please, please go check out Michelle's awesome work.
Yes.
She's got creative, incredible stuff of all different types. And then please come check us out on Instagram at pivot_skateboard_deck_exhibit. And also the Center of Southwest Studies, we can be found at Center SW Studies FLC. So come check everybody out, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for having me. Bye.